So if you guys haven't heard, our friend over at Modern Man TV, Mike Smith, has created a product line, Dauntless. And today, after 3 years of hard work, we're gonna take a look at the matte paste. So first things first, as always, let's take a look at the jar itself. So Mike decided for Dauntless that he would like to use a larger, more distinct jar to kind of set them apart from your usual size or usual branding. So this jar is quite large compared to other products and really stands out. Personally, not my favorite jar, but mainly due to travel and things like that, but it does look quite different compared to everything else you see. Labels, very nicely done, very professional looking, and have a nice modern feel to them. Distinguishing each one from each other, he's chosen different font colors for each one. This one has the green, the wax cream has a pinkish color, and the pomade, I believe, has a red color. We're going to take a look at all those other products, but overall, great presentation. Opening up the jar, the scent is a little bit citrusy, extremely light. I think if you guys don't know, Mike has more of a sensitivity to scents, and different allergies and scent profiles kind of put him into a state of discomfort. So this is very light, citrusy, a bit sharp, I would say, on the end or the tail end of the product, but again, very light. Something that once put into the hair, it's pretty much not noticeable. After 10 minutes, completely gone from the hand and the hair. So nothing to worry about here. Looking at the jar itself, as you can see, I've really dug into this one. I've used it over for the last little week and a little bit, and it's actually quite excellent. Looking at it, we got a slightly off gray color, and the scooping is quite thick. It's almost like a pliable Play-Doh, if you were to call it that way, with a little bit of moisture in it. Breaking it down is easy. It's smooth and quite tacky. There's not much for dryness, I would say, but it's very enjoyable. Easy to break down, completely out of the hands. Application, just like the breakdown, is smooth, and the stickiness slowly builds as you add the product in. Almost no tug and pull, which is quite surprising actually. And I personally really enjoy how almost detailed and simple it is to apply into the hair. Going in with a second scoop, we start to get the stickiness start to become exaggerated in the hair. One benefit of this product that I think is extremely well done is that you can add quite a bit of product before it becomes overwhelming. So with just 2 scoops in, it's quite natural. It's ever present in the hair. And basically, as you can see, styling went really simple. I think that's the number one aspect I would say about this, is that because of how sticky it is, but how smooth it is in the hair, it allows for some very responsive styling. Essentially, you can manipulate the hair where you want. It'll all clump together into a nice coarse texture, and the stickiness helps it stay in place throughout the day. So once you've styled, everything really kind of, I don't want to say gel because it doesn't harden, but it all meshes together very nicely. labeled as a medium hold. I think I would call this one more of a medium firm, which is kind of nice. That kind of undersells the hold, which most brewers tend to over exaggerate their hold. So it's definitely a nice change. So medium products aren't really your thing. This one's a medium firm for me. Texture, as we said, on the coarse side, do get some complexity in there, but I personally get more of a coarse experience in terms of how the hair behaves, versus with something with a little bit more complex texture like a clay, you tend to get a little bit more chaos and less control. Whereas coarser products, for myself, behave a little bit more naturally. Shine, 100% matte. Literally nothing is added or taken away, I would say. Extremely natural, and it actually starts to get a little bit more matte as the day progresses. So that's a big plus. Usually it shifts the other way. You'll get a little bit of shine as you start to get some sweat and oil throughout the day. This one starts to dry up throughout the day. Definite plus in my books. And probably the best aspect besides the control with this product is the endurance. Because of how sticky it is and how much you can layer it into your hair, it lasts all day. About 8 to 10 hours, you'll still have that same presence and density to the product. That Play-Doh characteristic that we talked about earlier really comes into effect here. And I think the density of it versus your creamy products is what allows this endurance to push throughout the day. Finally, washout. Washout was a little weird on this one for me. Shampoo, very easy. Completely strips it out, almost no problems. With water, I get a almost waxy residue that isn't ideal and not something that I personally would enjoy. However, I shampoo my hair every day, doesn't ruin anything. So if you're being told shampooing is bad for your hair, it isn't. It's when you start to abuse your hair with heat and shampooing with very strong sulfate rich products. And overall, coming back to the product, washout is moderate to the road, but does leave your hair healthy. Overall, I think Mike Smith really nailed it on this one. Yes, it is another YouTuber making a product, but he spent the last 3 years talking with brewers that we all know, like Lockhart's, Sheer Revival, O'Dowd's, everybody, to get a little bit of insight on how he can further develop his products. And I think he really did an excellent job. Although we're looking at the matte paste here, the other products in the lineup are phenomenal, and throughout the coming weeks we're going to dive into those as well. If you want to take a look at Dauntless, launches today, and I believe at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. This should be out at around that time. I'll have everything linked down below, and as always, like videos, subscribe, and we'll come back with a video next week. Thanks for watching.